Yes. So let's have a look at this Sabbath Sunday issue. And why is it such a big deal, right? So the Catechism of the Council of Trent for parish priests states, the Church of God has thought it well to transfer the celebration and observance of the Sabbath to Sunday. So this is a direct quote from a very reputable source within the Roman Catholic system, that the Church is the one that transferred the Sabbath to the Sunday. All right? All right, here's another catechism of the Catholic Church, which is the official one, and it says, in respecting the religious liberty and the common good of all, Christians should seek recognition of Sundays and the Church's holy days as legal holidays. Who's asking for Sunday legislation in their catechism?
The Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church, yeah. Right? So there is not a shadow of doubt that the Catholic Church is pushing the Sunday issue.
That's it.
Why? Because they claim it is the mark of their authority.
That's it.
And therefore obedience to this law is an acknowledgement of their authority over and above that of the Bible.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
You cannot, without consequences, go against God's law.
That's it.
Because you're going against His authority. The Sabbath was introduced on the 7th day of the creation week. Therefore, it is a law for humanity.
Yeah.
But it will be universally kept by all creation in the future, and probably now as well, right? Yeah. So the Sabbath was made for man, and the Son of Man says that He is Lord of the Sabbath. Now, Martin, if you say that you are Lord of your household, would you then kick your household out and say you're no longer part of it, you're going to change it?
No.
That makes no sense whatsoever. So if you proclaimed yourself Lord over something, are you going to get rid of it?
Definitely not. No. That's a very good point. No. No. What's the point?
What are you going to do that for? You're the Lord of the Sabbath, so, okay, now that I've established I'm the Lord of the Sabbath, I'm going to kick it away.
It's a very good point.
Doesn't make sense. Why did He create the Sabbath?
To remember.
To remind them of their dependence.
Yes.
Right?
About the Creator and the Sustainer.
So, was it a test to humanity to acknowledge that He was the Creator and the Sustainer?
That's it. Mm-hmm.
So the Sabbath is the ultimate law in the Decalogue, reminding humanity of their origins and their sustainability. How do they maintain life?
Yeah.
And He said, if you do not adhere to these principles, you will die.
Yeah.
The day you eat of it, you will die.
Yeah.
Did they die on that particular day?
Not right there, but on the cosmic day. They did die before the second.
All right, if one day is as 1,000 years, then one cosmic day would be 1,000 years, and they all died. Every single human being that has ever lived, even the oldest of them, which was Methuselah, died within the first cosmic day.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now let's see what the Catholic Catechism states. We've looked at it before in lectures, but let's just reiterate it. Article 460 of the Catholic Catechism says, the Word became flesh to make us partakers of the divine nature. For this is why the Word became man and the Son of God became the Son of Man. So that man, by entering into communion with the Word, and thus receiving divine sonship, might become a son of God. For the Son of God became man so that we might become God. Is that a problem, Martin?
It sounds like Lucifer.
Yes. After all, the Bible says He gave Him His power and great authority. The only begotten Son of God, wanting to make us sharers in His divinity, assumed our nature so that He made man might make men gods. Is that the lie of the serpent?
Yes.
Now, Martin, when you are God, then you don't need a creator and you don't need a sustainer. You can go into an eternal cycle. That's reincarnation. That's Buddhism, Hinduism, all of those things. There was never a beginning and there never is an end. If there never was a beginning, then you're not a created being.
It's like this energy theology.
Yeah.
It's just energy. You go back to energy and then the energy recreates. And
right. So does the Sabbath clearly say it is not so? There's a creator and a sustainer.
Of course, yeah, of course. It already pinpoints the exact God that all of this shows.
If God says, I want you to remember that I'm the creator and the sustainer, I'm putting the Sabbath there, and I am Lord of that Sabbath, then do you have to pay particular adherence to that individual who happens to be, according to the scriptures, Jesus Christ?
Of course, because then that becomes the point where you acknowledge him.
So is the Sabbath linked to Jesus Christ?
Unmistakable. It cannot be unlinked.
So by keeping the Sabbath, you are acknowledging that he is your creator and your sustainer, upholding all things.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Does it become an important day?
I just wanted to say, then it becomes salvation, a life and death situation. So a day is linked to death or life.
Okay. Now, if someone had said, I'm a God, I don't need it, is that rebellion?
Yeah, for sure. But then,
so if you don't need God, and you say, I don't need you, I don't want you, I'm a law unto myself, and I don't need you to sustain me, would God have the right, if you continue on that line, to say, okay, I'll take life back?
Oh, for sure.
What happens when he takes life back?
Then you don't exist.
And you're very dead, right?
Yeah. And it can be a very dangerous thing, because even if you say, I will choose which day, that is also, then you make yourself the God.
Then you become a God. So if you say, I'm not going to acknowledge the Sabbath, I'm going to acknowledge my own law, have you made yourself God?
Yes.
Now this is a pretty blunt statement. So everybody, unknowingly at this stage, most of them, by keeping the Sunday, which is the law of the rebellious mystery of iniquity Roman Catholic system, not the individuals,
that's it,
are thereby accentuating and confirming that they are a power unto themselves and that they are God.
Yes, so
according to their own catechism.
According to their own catechism, that's why it's so dangerous to say that we can keep any day or even the Sunday.
If Jesus said, okay, I'm going to change the day, isn't he de-acknowledging himself as creator and sustainer?
100%.
So can he change it?
No. He's also bound to that day because that was the one acknowledging him. If he changes it, then...
He created that day. Yeah. Because he created all things, so he also created the Sabbath as a reminder that you are dependent.